By using just two simple techniques, I turned this plain looking artwork into something that feels cinematic. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. Maybe you had an artwork that technically looks fine, but it doesn't feel alive, like it's missing something, but you don't know what is it. And most of the time, it comes down to two things: no depth and no atmosphere. And today, we're going to fix both. I'm using Photoshop here, but honestly, you can do this in almost any art program. This is an old painting that I like, but I knew I can improve it. So I used this as a base and added just two tweaks that change everything. First technique is to create a depth of field. I have all my layers separated here so I can easily work on each element. I want to make the two characters the focal point of the camera, so I'm going to add blur to the foreground, which is this table and cup, and the background, which are the window, the buildings, and the sky. For the foreground, we're going to duplicate the cup and the table layer and merge it to make it one layer. Then we'll go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and set the blur amount to 3. And as you can see, it's starting to give us the cinematic feeling like in movies where a camera focuses on characters and lets the foreground blur out. Now, we're going to do the same thing for the background. I duplicated and merged the window, the sky, and the buildings into one layer. But this time, instead of using Gaussian blur, we're going to use lens blur. Here in the settings, I set the focal distance to around 210, but you can adjust it according to your focal point. And for the radius, I set it to 60 and turn up brightness to 64 and threshold to 98. You can experiment with the settings, but so far for me, this is the best setting that I always use to create a blurred background with soft bokeh effect. I'm good with this, so I'm going to hit OK to apply. And just like that, we make the scene more realistic because we created a depth of field. Now, for the second technique, we're going to light this up. First, we're going to create a bloom effect, or some people call it halation. Basically, it's that soft glow on the highlighted parts of an object, and we're going to add it to our characters. I created a new layer above the characters and set it to linear dodge and use a soft brush with a warm orange color. Then I'm going to paint over the edges where the sunlight hits the characters to create that glowing effect. It looks intense, so I'm going to lower the opacity to make it even softer. And using the eraser tool, I'm going to erase some hard edges to make it more subtle and blend with the background evenly. Now, for the final touch, I'm going to add another lighting effect called lens flare. Basically, this is a harsh glow that happens when the sun hits the camera directly, and it can make this painting even dramatic and feel realistic. I'm going to add a new layer below the characters, and using a soft brush and warm orange color, I'm going to paint over this area where the sun is shining. And boom, look at that. It really looks good. It feels like this is a screenshot from a real anime film because of how the lighting and the depth of field created a sense of drama and atmosphere. I'm going to add a few lens flare to other areas, but not too much. And lastly, I will add a glow effect here in the table because the sun is directly hitting this area. And that's it. Here's the before and after. We just made two simple changes, a bit of blur and a bit of light. And suddenly, this plain looking artwork becomes a cinematic masterpiece. Actually, you don't always need to redraw or render more. Sometimes you just need to add a lens to the story. If you wanted to learn more about how I use lighting on my artwork, just let me know in the comments so I can create more videos like this. Please don't forget to like this video and comment and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'm going to see you again in my next video. Take care.